Today is Monday afternoon and I'm Pikelet's ma speaking. Hi everybody. This is our little living room at our headquarters. When I say headquarters, I think a lot of people understand that we, as in Life of Pikelet, we're not going to have any silly playing now on camera. It's just going to escalate. All right, that's enough. It's enough. This boy here is Pikelet's brother, Dummy. His nickname is Dummy, and it's not because he's silly. It's because and Dummy is a good short name. And that is Pamplemousse, who is playing with. So I'm not going to edit this video because it is good for people to see how a household with a big pack functions. But in this room, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 forever dogs, and then we have a 9th forever dog here. This is Myrtle Lou. Myrtle is a fully grown Chihuahua. She's 1.3 kilos, and she's an adult, and she has a condition called cerebellar hyperplasia, which basically the parts in her brain that all dogs get that make them have balance, like cognitive balance, that did not form properly or at all in Myrtle's case. So she's very intelligent. She's a very typical Chihuahua and barks at anything crazy, particularly but likes to bark at Puppadum, who is a Shar-Pei. And Puppadum came to me when he was only 6-7 weeks old, and he had to have quite a bit of eye surgery, palate surgery, nostril surgery. He was a bit of a hot mess. And I rather foolishly decided to keep him for myself. So in this pack, we have 10 dogs, forever dogs. There is a 10th one that's not in the room here, and that is Pumpernickel, my Roman Nose Bull Terrier, Pikey's brother. Pikelet and Pumpernickel had huge fights many, many years ago, just being dog brothers. I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding as to who is the oldest and more senior in the pack, but being Pikelet now, and was at the time, and Pumpernickel being a bull terrier in his nature, they're very, very stubborn dogs, and I was not able to reintroduce him to the pack safely. So he's kept separate from all these guys, but he has a pretty fulfilling life. He is just kept separate at our home so that he doesn't become dangerous around other dogs. And he's safe and can live his best life as a safe singleton dog, if that makes sense. I did think about rehoming him, but just based on his rehomability, it would be too dangerous for me to send him to a new home. Even as a single dog, my biggest concern would be that if a cat or some other animal somehow got into his yard or he was able to come across them off leash, I'm not sure that they would survive. He is a very stubborn dog and has a very high prey drive. And so putting him in another environment where somebody, may not be able to control him, and if something did go wrong, then he would likely be euthanized. So I decided to keep him, essentially. But yeah, I wanted to film this video somewhat, not live, but just so that you can actually see how things unfold with a large pack. Everyone in this pack is rescued. Everyone in this pack was essentially fostered or rescued by me, with the exception of Blanche. This is little Blanche. She's a little Chihuahua cross terrier that I adopted from Animal Welfare League, New South Wales. So I adopted her. I did not rescue her or foster her. And I adopted her essentially sight unseen, as in I didn't get to meet her. She was in the bush. And I applied for her adoption based on her adoption profile. But yeah, I'll just go through a quick roll call. We've got Papa here. Dummy. Dum. Now, Papa being a Shar-Pei, they're not that great in a pack scenario. Shar-Peis in general are very suspicious dogs, very wary. They're very much like a guard dog. Papa is always on high alert and always looking out the windows and checking the perimeter. He very rarely naps in the day. But he's done so well over the years. He used to have altercations with Paddy quite a bit, in that he would cause a fight and Paddy would not really want to engage, and then get to a point where he did engage and, of course, do a lot more damage in the fight than Papa can, because under this big jaw, there's a tiny little mouth in there under this big sort of soft gump. There's not a lot of teeth. Well, there is teeth, but it's not a very big jaw. So he can't really do much damage. Then we have a little blind Frenchie here who's Peanut Buttercup, but we call her Buttercup. And we've got Pamplemousse, who is what's called a pocket pitty or an exotic bully, a miniature exotic bully. She currently has some scabs here because she has to wear a nappy at night sometimes. She has yet to be desexed. We're waiting for her full maturity so that she can be desexed, and she's going to have laparoscopic desexing. She has a few health problems, and we just want to be overly cautious, and she's got a cleft lip. And then we've got Panadol, who is a technically red and white English Staffy. So same as Pikelet, actually, except she's comes from pedigree breeders. Panny has a number of birth defects. One of them's called shaking puppy syndrome, where all the nerves in her body, all over her body, don't have like a nerve covering. So if I were to touch her, she'll jump, or her fur will, I don't know if you can see that, but every time I go to touch her, it sort of, you can't really see, she sort of jumps. It doesn't hurt her or anything. She's just really sensitive to touch. And she's also got some neurological problems, which we, as layman's people, not veterinarian neurologists, sort of describe as a mixture of being on the spectrum, being autistic, maybe mixed with a bit of Down syndrome. We're just not sure. She's got, there's some sort of something missing there, but also she just functions really differently. It's really hard to explain, but I'll probably do some really big videos on her later on. And we've just decided recently that she's now a forever and not just a foster. We've had her up for adoption for over a year and nobody's applied, not a single person. She's also really tricky just from a medical perspective for adoption. It's not an easy one. Then we have Profiterole, or Rolly as we call him. He has a cleft lip. He came to me as a neonate, and I don't know why I wasn't really thinking, but I decided to adopt him along with Peanut Buttercup. They were about the same time, same age. And I say I wasn't really thinking because I do have slight regrets in adopting French Bulldogs. They're just a really not easy breed to adopt. They're very stubborn. They're very needy. They're hard to toilet train. They're painful at times from a breed perspective, from somebody who has a lot to do with a lot of breeds. I love them. I love every French Bulldog I've ever cared for. But would I adopt them again in the future? No, not unless I was sort of in a position where I had to. And then we've got these three. As I mentioned, Blanche before. We've got Patty Cakes. I'm not going to go through who Patty Cakes is because most people who follow Life of Pikelet know him. And of course, the man himself, Pikelet. So I'm going to try and do an unboxing. So we're already 10 minutes into a video and I really wanted to do an unboxing since Pikelet's cancer diagnosis, and he's been going through chemo. I've been wanting to do a bunch of videos. I haven't done a proper wish list for him right now, I just haven't had the time. That's Buttercup making that noise, by the way. She likes to groom everyone. Her breathing is terrible. She was born with no eyeballs, this little girl, but she's also an adult Frenchie, and Moosey here is the size of Pikelet, and that's about 18 kilos. I think Buttercup is weighing just over 3 kilos now. She's a very small French bulldog as an adult, going on 4 years old, born with no eyeballs, but also her head is just really smooshed up. She doesn't have a lot of room in her mouth. Her breathing is horrendous. I wouldn't be surprised if she has some neurological issues that have not been diagnosed. She's pretty healthy, but also really unhealthy. I've had to revive her over the years, probably a good 5 times minimum, just when she's had too much exercise or she's gotten too excited or she sits on top of the fire and she overheats. Like, there's just no, Anyway, so we have 2 boxes that I have been holding here for over 2 weeks now. And eventually when I do get a wish list together for Pikelet, I'm going to put a bunch of things on a list of all of Pikelet's favorite things that he wants, based on what I know, and things that he also really needs for his cancer journey, I guess you could say. So all I've done with these boxes, so these 2 boxes are boxes filled with treats. That's all I know. I haven't actually opened them. This box is from our favorite treat company in Sydney, the Doggy Bakery. Now, they deliver anywhere and everywhere in Australia, and they are all handmade, like from scratch treats. So there's no like preservatives or anything like that in them, and this is why it's our preferred one. It's not to say we don't give other treats to the dogs, because we absolutely do. But I also, where I can, particularly with Pikelet, with a cancer diagnosis, it's really important to know what you're feeding. So if there were other treats that have preservatives in them, or they're just like mass produced, I probably won't give them to Pikelet at this time. They'll probably go to the other dogs and their foster puppies. So I've just opened this because I want to do an unboxing. And this is a box of treats from one of our very long time Life of Pikers. She's also in All Access, as are the Doggy Bakery founders. They're in our All Access group, which is the private group on Facebook where everybody in that group pays a $5 a month subscription, and that goes to help funding our rescue. It's not a big group, it's a small group, so it's not like we're making thousands of dollars every month, because we absolutely are not, but it's just enough to keep us ticking over with the day-to-day costs. So this box, I believe there's going to be some bone marrow treats specifically for Pikelet, but there might be some other treats in here, I don't know. And they might be things that we can share with everybody else. So I'm going to attempt to do an unboxing. And I say attempt because if it gets dangerous with this many dogs in the room or vying for treaties, I will cut off the camera, just because safety first, right? And although this pack love each other, and it's great, like, they've always sort of grown up together, I do need to be careful because they are dogs. Dogs are unpredictable, and when you have food around, it can be even more unpredictable. So like I said, I've just opened it up. This is my my grandfather's old army knife that I've kept, and I use still to this day. It's still really sharp. So I'm going to call Pikelet over because essentially it's his. And when I opened on this video, and it will be in another video, I opened on this little car. This little car is Pikelet's car. It's his Range Rover. It works and he sits on it. You'll see there are magazines in there, and I've just put them in there so that the little seat sort of extends for his legs. I need to build something in there, but this was also donated. I didn't have it on a wish list or anything. I just have a friend who has, who I've known since I was a young girl, and she's over in Singapore and she wanted to send something. She told me that Pikelet could get around in when he has really tough days getting chemo and stuff and he doesn't feel like walking. So I thought she was sending us a big dog pram, but this is what turned up. And he actually really enjoys it. Put any other dog in there and they don't want to jump straight out, but Pikelet sits in there, so that's actually quite good. Pikelet, you want to come over here? Papa, come on. Come get some treaties. Pikelet, come on, quick, let's go. Pikelet, come on, it's for you. Walk past Panadol. All right, so we first got, our first box comes from the Doggy Bakery. These are your aunts Kylie and Denise in Sydney. Patty, out of it. Dummy, out of it. You open it up. Out. So I'm going to be really firm with my voice, guys. I apologize. What's in here? We've got a note first. Dear Pikey, Auntie Denise and I are sending lots of love and strength to you and your mamas. Keep fighting, beautiful boy. Auntie Kay and Auntie D. That's Auntie Kylie and Auntie Denise. Oh, I think Buttercup thinks she's going to get here. Now, we've been getting their treats for years, and they know what cancer treats are best. So we've got here banana, banana apple berry bites. Whoa, lucky they're all packaged up and we can't fight over them. Here we've got carob chip cookies. Ooh. Buttercup, can you get out of the box, please? Oh, some lean kangaroo. I might sprinkle some of that tonight over your food. Buttercup's in the box. Buttercup, get out. Oh, now these chicken twists are a favourite. You can't have them, Patty, because you're allergic to chicken. It's not about you. Some more banana bites. Oh, chicken breast. Ooh, now that. No. Everyone's done so well so far. Pikelet definitely knows it's for him. And we say, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, now I'm going to put this box back up on the dining table. All right, we're getting to 18 minutes. Too much talking from Mummy, hey? It's been a while since I did a video where people actually understand who is in our forever pocket. Oh my God, this one's real heavy. Now this one comes from Auntie Angela, also in Sydney. Let's see what's in here. Whoa. Hang on. What have we got? I might read this in a second. I just want to make sure there's no food fights. Out. Out, dummy. Dummy, out, please. Good boy. And we've got some schmackles and stuff. Now, this is the kind of stuff that we can give to the foster babies and some of you kids. Oh, ooh. Buttercup, please get out of the box. Well, how about I lift this on the table so that you can actually have a look. I feel like Buttercup's found something that's loose, maybe. Oh, yeah, there's loose stuff. I'm going to lift this up so we don't have fights. Okay, hang on, Pikey. Out of it, out of it, out of it, out of it. Ooh, sorry, guys. This is authentic filming. I think I left a packet on the floor here. Thanks, Rolly. Rolly. So Profiterole's name, we just call him Rolly or Rowie. So what have we got here? Dear Pikelet and friends, I hope you enjoy your treats. Oh. I'm going to read it. I'm sorry you can't read it here. Hope you enjoy your treats. Sending you lots of love from Angela and Maggie. Those were Miss Maggie's treats. Sadly, she passed away late last year, and I'm sure she would be so happy to share them with you all. Aww. Thank you, Angela and dear Maggie, who's over Rainbow Bridge. So we've got lots of schmackos. This is great for the puppies. Some dentist sticks. Yeah, you know they're a favourite. Ooh, some mini kangaroo treats. These are good for training when they're this small. Nature's Gift, excellent. Oh my goodness, Pikelet. This is the kind of stuff. This is fantastic. Look at all of this. Oh my gosh, Pikelet is going to love that. Oh, there's some more. Some dentist sticks. Oh my God, there's so much in here. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. This is fantastic. Oh my God, no wonder Buttercup was going crazy. These look fantastic. Well, we got to say thank you. Oh, these. Amazing. These are Ziwi Peak and that. They're a fantastic brand. Angela, there's so much in here. We can't even go through them all. Duck fillets, Patty, that's his favorite because he's allergic to chicken, so he eats a lot of duck treats. Oh, there's a kangaroo tendon. My foster puppy at the moment, one of my foster puppies, Paddle Pop. So yeah, what I was saying at the start of the video is that even though we call this HQ, most people who follow us, who have followed for years, know that we're not a dog rescue shelter or a pound. So even though I have lots of foster puppies at this point in time, usually I've only ever had like one or two, which is how people know us, is that Pikelet and Patty, or even before Patty, Pikelet was the foster brother to one puppy at a time. Sometimes it was a piglet, sometimes it was a goat, sometimes it was 3 kittens, but we've always kept it on a smaller scale. Now that we're in a house that we're renting that was actually bought for Life of Pikelet to rent, we still don't have shelter, like a shelter, but we're able to take on more. So that's why I have the hound litter. So that's the wolfhound cross staghound litter. They've got 8 of them still. And we've still got Paddle Pop, who was part of the Roddy litter, where he's half Rottweiler, half Golden Retriever. And that litter was only 2 puppies, which was fantastic because we don't need more puppies in the world. And so, yeah, when I say HQ, I just mean that's headquarters for where I live as Pikelet's mum, who runs the rescue, and where Pikelet lives. That's our headquarters. But it's not sort of a free-for-all where, you know, we try not to publish our address anywhere publicly, just also from a safety perspective as well. You know, I can't afford to be completely open as to where I'm living, and have people just turn up or drop by or leave things at the door. I remember years ago we had ducklings left and abandoned on our doorstep in a box. We had a puppy left and abandoned and dropped in a box on our doorstep, and we weren't even a rescue organisation at that stage. I was just a foster carer. So people found out where I lived and would just dump animals as if it was okay. So anyway, that's our unboxing. I'll talk more about Pikey's Range Rover car at a later date, and show you him in that. But yeah, this is what day-to-day life in the living room for Life of Pikelet looks like. It is just the Forever Kids. We don't have fosters in this living area. It's already too much of a dynamic to manage. That's our back door there, and we exit out there, and there's a big paddock out there for the dogs. So the hound puppies are often in there, or Paddle Pop is in there. but we never are able to have all the fosters and all the forevers in the same room at the same time. There's a lot of age differences, there's a lot of breed differences, there's a lot of personalities to juggle. So that's why when you follow social media accounts with large packs, unless they're a family with a really big purpose-built home and a really big property, and they've got the time to physically train and work with every individual dog and build them into the pack, you won't really see every dog all together, because when you've got a foster care environment where dogs are coming and going, it's really hard to sort of match the dynamics for the short time that foster care is needed. Also, I'm a renter, so even though this house was purchased for me to rent, it's not my house, so I've got to be careful as to damage that gets done, the fact that I've got neighbours, that, you know, I've got to make sure there's no, like, anything distressing that the neighbours might hear, or, you know, too much barking or anything along those lines. So this isn't the kind of place where we're able to just have all the animals together, all living in the same space harmoniously at all times. It takes a lot of juggling. And as you can see, this is a sofa cover and there's a rip in it, just like everything in this house. It's a real dog house. I don't have everything pristine and perfect and working. It's always, there's always stuff we need, always stuff I'm replenishing. But yeah, thank you so much to Kylie and Denise from the Doggy Bakery, and thank you to Angela from Sydney for these amazing gifts. These will go a really long way, not just for Pikelet, but also for the rest of the kids, including patty cakes. It's a good boy, Patty. So thank you so much. And that's it. That's the end of our video, Patty. What do you say? What do you say, Patty? Good boy. Good boy, Patty. Oh, you too, Papa Dum. Good boy, Dummy. Good boy. Well done. You did so good. Look at that tail wag. You did so good on the video. Well behaved. Nice kisses. Good boys. And there we go.